guys, this is Plutonium here and welcome back to another redstone tutorial for today. And it's summer and it's really hot outside my room, and that's why my character also is feeling quite hot, and that's why I just gave him a couple of shorts and some nice white shoes, and boy do I look fancy in those Bermuda shorts, do I? Just look at me. Just look at me. And I actually accidentally showcased the build that I was going to build here. Anyways, let's move on to today's tutorial. And for today's tutorial, I decided to move on to doors. Once again, the best source of content for any redstone YouTuber is always piston doors. And recalling all the piston doors I have built, let's take a roll call as to how many doors have I built. So I have built a 3x3 piston door, a 4x4 piston door, a 2x2 flush trap door, which is kind of like a door, but it's not a door, it's a trap door. And then I built a 2x2 seamless glass door. Then I built a circular piston door, and then I built an under over door, which is not technically like an actual piston door, but yeah. So today we are back with another door design, and today's build is a 4x4 vault door. Now you might have seen lots of other videos of other YouTubers who have built lots of different kinds of designs of 4x4 vault doors, and this one is also pretty similar. Now let's talk about some of the perks of building this door. Is first of all, this build is absolutely symmetric. It's absolutely symmetrical. You can see that the left and the right sides are exactly the same. It is just a masterpiece of symmetry. Just look at this. It's also symmetrical from this line here. You can see that the left side and the right side are pretty much the same. And you guessed it, this is not only a one-sided door, it is a double-sided door. And you can open it from this side and the other side. So it is a button operated door, you can see here. And if I press this button here, you can see that our door opens. Pretty good, nice. And then we go to the other side. We can obviously turn it off from that side, but we can also turn it off from this side because this door is fancy. And let's press the button, and you can see that the door closes. I can press this button from here again, the door opens, and I press this button from the other side and it closes. Now these two buttons are not separate. You can press any one of them, it will work just the same. I've just added this for symmetry, because this door is perfectly symmetric and I really love that. Anyways, so let's talk about this door. First of all, this door is mostly 3 blocks wide, and down at the bottom it just becomes 5 blocks and then 7 blocks wide because of constraints. I didn't have really a lot of space to make all of the redstone fit inside 3 blocks, and especially the buttons made this look extra wide at the bottom, because I could have added these buttons like over here, but then the problem was that because of quasi connectivity and problems, those pistons could actually get activated because of that button, and that's something I would never want to happen, and that would actually break our door, and then I'll have to fix it every time it opens or closes, whatever. So that's why I have to keep these buttons away from those pistons, and then I just decided to add this redstone line here. So you can actually also remove one of these sides. If you want to save resources on building this door, you actually don't need to have one of these sides. It is completely optional to have one of those sides. You can just save some resources and make this a one-sided 4x4 wall door. It will work exactly the same without any problems. It's just that you're moving this one side of redstone and everything else is just normal. Anyways, so that was enough showcasing for this door. Pretty nice and fast and clean showcase. And now let's actually show you how to build this 4x4 vault door. Okay, is it just me, or is it the door really looks kind of evil to me, because look at those horns. This actually makes it look quite evil, doesn't it? Anyways, let's move ahead. Okay, so to build this door, you're needing this sort of an area which is 7 blocks long and 8 blocks wide. And to build this, you're going to need this list of materials here. So you're going to need 36 sticky pistons, 2 pistons, 24 observers, 10 hoppers, and this is what this is what is the bulk of the redstone that you're going to need. Then you're going to have 4 repeaters, 24 redstone dust, 2 target blocks, 20 blocks for the redstone to place your redstone on top of them. Then you need 4 kinds of buttons. You actually don't need 4, you can actually have a minimum of 2, and these could be any form of buttons, be it stone, be it wooden. Your door will work absolutely fine, whatever kind of button you have, and whatever amount of decoration blocks. So let's begin. So to start with, you need to actually start building your door frame. And where you're going to place your door frame is going to be the exact middle of this build. There's going to be these two blocks right here. So you are going to place three temporary blocks above any one of those two middle blocks. You don't really have to worry which one. Place three temporary blocks and then a fourth one, and then remove these three blocks down there. Then make a line of four blocks like this, and this should be centered with your build like that, and this is going to be the middle portion of your door of the bottom, right? After that, you're going to place a temporary block here, then go four blocks up like this, temporary block, four blocks across, temporary block, four blocks down, and this is going to be your door frame, except you need to remove these corners like that. And now this is not the only door frame, you need to actually make this three wide. So you're going to make one frame on this side and one frame on this side. Now this tutorial is actually for the double-sided version of the door. For single-sided, you can just always have a look at you can always just remove one of the sides. It really doesn't make a lot of difference, right? So we can add our other frames on this, and like that we have added one side. We go to the other side and then we place this other frame, and like that. So this here is going to be your door frame. Now let's start placing our pistons, our layout of pistons. So what you're going to do is, for the bottom section, you're going to remove all of these blocks here, and these are the 6 blocks that are going to be actually extended into the middle of your door. So what you're going to do is you're going to place a temporary block right on the middle here, and then place two sticky pistons facing upwards like that for our double piston extender, and then place another one right next to that. Remove this temporary block. Next to these, you can place two sticky pistons like this facing upwards, and do the same on the other side. And this is how your bottom pistons are going to be laid out. Place your blocks back in, and now let's move on to our sides. So what you need to do is you need to place two temporary blocks going out like this. Remove the middle one, and then place a sticky piston like that, and then place two more on top of them to add your side pistons. Now you need to do the same on the other side and also on this side. So you need to do this thing 4 times. So I'm going to do that quickly. Alright, so after you have done that, we need to place our final top pistons. So what you're going to do is you're going to add a temporary block like this, which is one block above this top here. Then you need to add sticky pistons facing downwards on all of these 4 blocks on the top, and like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do the same on the other side by placing a temporary block like this, and then place your 4 pistons like this facing downwards into these blocks. And then for our double piston extender in the middle, you're going to remove these 2 blocks, go down, place pistons like that and like that, and then two more underneath them, and that is going to be it for all of your pistons. And this is how this is going to be laid out. Anyway, so now let's start by adding our redstone. So what we need to do is we need to start with our activation circuit, which is going to be right here. So place a temporary block like this on the side of that bottom piston, and then place a sticky piston facing towards the right and another on its back facing the other way. Remove this block and add 2 observers with their dots facing away from the pistons like that. So these 2 are going to be our monostable circuits, which will be activating our entire door. And then you need to place a temporary block like this, 1 block out, remove this, and then do the same on the other side as well. So like that. And then you need to I'm struggling to say stuff right now. Then you need to do the same thing on this side, because this door is pretty fancy. Okay, enough boasting about this door. Place 2 sticky pistons like this, as I've shown earlier, facing away from each other, and then place the observers on their faces, as I've already told you how to, and then place a temporary block on this observer, and then 1 more outside. Remove this block, do the same on the other side. Now we need to connect these 2 together, and you need to do this by placing 3 blocks like this, which are 1 block above these 2, and these will connect like this. Do the same on the other side, and like that. Then what you need to do is you need to place redstone dust on all of these blocks. right here. So this bottom line is going to be the main circuit which is going to activate everything in your door. These monostable circuits are just going to run into these redstone lines, and then everything is going to be controlled after that. Now what you need to do is you need to place your hoppers and observers which are going to link with these bottom pistons here. So what you need to do is you need to first place an observer running into this piston here. So we need to go like this and place one observer here, and also place one observer on this side, not there, just over there. You can see that the dots are facing towards those pistons right there. Then place one over there as well, and then go to the other side and place another observer like that. So now we have 4 of our observers placed in like that, and then add some hoppers going to these observers. Now this will cause some firing, obviously. Then you can always actually fix it by just going back to these pistons and just removing these and placing them back in their original locations. Now we need to link this line with our double piston extender. So what we need to do is we need to place a temporary block here, then an observer coming out of that block towards these pistons, remove this block, place a hopper, and then do the same on the other side. We'll come back to the piston extender circuits later. So we need to place a temporary block, observer running into those pistons, remove this, then add a hopper like that. Now we are going to add our double piston extender circuit. So we are going to place a block here which is between these two and one block lower, then place a redstone repeater facing into this piston and set on 4 ticks. Now I need to place an observer coming out of that, which is going to be a bit tricky to place from here. So what you're going to do is you're going to come up inside your door, remove this block, crouch and place an observer, and then replace this block. We'll do the same for the other side. So we are going to place block, repeater on 4 ticks, go out, remove this block, crouch and place an observer, and then place your door block back again, and that is the entirety of the bottom circuits done. Now if we activate these pistons, this bottom section will actually activate. So now we are not going to do that. We are going to do everything at the end. We are going to test everything at the end. So now we need to place all of our circuits going from bottom to top. So we need to place an observer here, block, and then redstone dust on this, and this is going to take care of all of these pistons on our sides. So we'll do the same on the other side. This observer and that other observer are actually going to detect this redstone being pulsed, and that will cause a pulse to run into this observer, and it will activate all of these pistons. Now after that we need to connect the top pistons, so we need to place another observer coming out of that redstone like that. You need to crouch in place, otherwise you will just convert it into a dot, and if it becomes a dot it will not power these side pistons, and you need to make sure that they remain across. Okay, then you need to place a regular piston facing upwards on the dot of that observer, and then place a temporary block, and then place another observer which is one block above that regular piston. So when this piston extends, that observer will detect it. Do the same on the other side. You need to place a block and then an observer like that. Now these observers are going to run into our double piston extenders at the top. So you need to place a block here, and also on this side, and then you need to carefully go under this space and place an observer with its dot facing downwards right next to that sticky piston over there, just like that. Do the same on the other side, and like that. Now we are going to install our double piston extender circuits for the top. So place redstone here, and then run repeaters on 4 tick delay on the top of these observers right there. Now these repeaters might not be looking to actually powering these two pistons, but they actually are because of quasi connectivity, and you might have already known that all of my builds use this bug or this feature. And so these repeaters are actually going to power these pistons at the top. Now to finish this, we need to add redstone on these blocks, one here and one here. Now there is a problem with this redstone being like this. So the problem is that this piston is obviously going to power this redstone is going to obviously power that piston, but it's going to also power this piston, and we don't want that because that might cause some double firing, and that means our blocks will actually get extended, but later they will get retracted, and that is a problem. So what we need to do is we need to keep this redstone away from these pistons by simply placing a target block. Now we can't actually see the redstone, but it's actually being redirected to only point towards this piston over here. Simple as that. Now we do the other side as well. Place another target block, crouch and place, because obviously redstone is different since 1.16. Okay, so after we have done that, we need to finally link up these four and these four pistons to complete our build. So how are we going to do that? Is we are going to place observers like this, facing into the middle, these dots facing to the middle, on the top of this side corner piston, or side or corner, whatever you might call it. Do the same on the other side, and then we need to add redstone like this. Now you could have also added some blocks, but why haven't I decided to add blocks? Simply because if we added blocks, those pistons could be activated because of these observers, and that's something we don't want. Okay, so we place redstone, and this redstone is not going to get redirected towards these pistons. Now the fun fact is that this redstone is going to activate this piston, because quasi connectivity. I absolutely love this thing, the quasi connectivity feature in Java Edition. Anyways, now to finally activate these observers, we need to place hoppers, and that will cause all of this firing. But if you place this hopper back here, we'll see that it fixes itself and everything is good. Okay, so we'll do the same on the other side, and that is it. We have completed this build, except that we still need to add in our buttons. And how we are going to do this is, first we are going to add another row of these door surround blocks actually. So we are going to add this completely going around, a complete square with all of the corners like that, and also on the other side, because this also can be activated from the other side. So go around all the way and all around like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place two blocks like this and two blocks like this. Then underneath those blocks, we are going to add two of our blocks for the redstone, and then place dust on these, and go on the other side, place blocks, and then place dust on these right next to these two pistons. Then you're going to do is you're going to take your buttons and you're going to place them on the top like this, and that is going to be the activation part. So now if we press these buttons, you can see that our door closes. Perfect. And if you press this button again, it will open. And yeah, I have first pressed this button and then I pressed this one. It is absolutely the same. These buttons are no different from each other. They activate the same components. It's just that it's fancy. You can have multiple inputs running into this and they'll do the same thing every time. Anyways guys, this is how you build this 4x4 vault door. So if you like this video, leave a like for this video, and also feel free to subscribe to the Plutonium Plays channel, because why not? You'll always get some more awesome content and you'll be notified when you get it. And if you want to get notified, you should also ring that notification bell down. And yeah, in the end, I would say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.